Let's Play! Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Hate Plus. I'm going to apologize right away because it has been a long time since I've read anything out loud, so my reading skills will not be up to their normal amount. Now, if we look, I don't think we have any more things to read. That is a no. So let's go and unextract, or rather, extract some more stuff. Disable the AI and... hey, did you not see the one labeled The Death of Mute? I, really think it's important that we read it. I'm just gonna make it so that it gets included in the next extraction. I really want to read it. Well, I guess we'll have to read that one for sure. I mean, she could have just said and I would have put it at the top of my list. She didn't have to auto put it on. But hey, if that's her choice, I will take it. So, we can't look at the pictures, but we can look at all of these. Oh, so we can only take 3 because of the whole extraction after power thing. So, let us extract our final 3 for the day as we run out of power. But hey, that's cool. Well, here we go. I guess we're going to read The Death of Mute, written by Mute. Ah, jeez. I haven't found the right key yet. I'll let you know when I do, I promise. I really want to see what this is. Well, that's semi-disappointing. Let's read The Most Extravagant Bribery, written by Counselor Tay, who is the replacement of the Counselor of Culture. I don't think we've read much from him. I don't think so. Dear Counselor Zhou Jinyoung, I had the utmost pleasure being invited to Ryu Kwang Su's home to discuss business with the man. You were right. When one of the Ryu family wants to get around in your pocket, they sure don't fuck around about it. Ooh, that word scared me for a second. It's by far the most extravagant form of bribery I've ever witnessed. I'm pretty sure that it's his brother that's the chief counselor, not him, because he seems a hell of a lot bolder to me. Are all the counselor and council nobility families like this? Because holy shit, I could sure get used to being in these ranks. He briefly mentioned a possible deck space deal over drinks. But mostly the evening was filled with gesturing. Hell of a job with the gesturing, though. I sure thought he couldn't get any crazier than when he casually mentioned busting out some vintage 4000 wine. Oh, I get it, like 4,000. Oh, okay. I was like 4,000. What? How was that? But it makes sense because the whole year thing. But then he did. Instead of just some regular household servant delivering it, he got Hyo A-jung herself to do it. She was the movie star. Ooh. I forgot her name between recordings. I saw her a couple times at the Eternity before it closed down. And she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. Pretty much. Loved her performances. And she just saunters out casually, uncorks a 40-year-old bottle, and kneels down like a common maid to pour it for us. It was unbelievable. Then, she sang for us, which I'd never heard before. Needless to say, her voice was as entrancing and beautiful as you'd expect, and the wine was just as smooth. Her performance went on for about a half an hour, singing about, well, the usual things. Lost love, the passage of time, that sort of sentimental shit. No, I don't like that. Don't say that, because that's the cool stuff to sing about. It's better than, oh, booty, 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 and, you know. The theater's slogan was playful elegance, and holy shit did she embody that. It's a guilty pleasure, but I can't say that her singing about past romance isn't emotionally affecting. It haunts your soul. I'm pretty envious of Ryu that he can apparently just hear that kind of performance whenever he wants, like it's no big deal. Anyway, then she sat down next to me, with her legs brushing against mine, and kept pouring me more wine. I mean, I'm not stupid. I know that Ryu was trying to seduce me with that kind of treatment. He just wants me to imagine how impressive their bride must be. That was the point where he mentioned the possibility of getting my family some deck space that's more spacious than where we were before. Like, maybe even a window to the stars. That's a romantic thought, that's for damn sure. I got a chance to talk to A-jung while Ryu was in the can. Like, that was not a type of slang I imagined to ever read in this. I just used the opportunity to gush about how big a fan I was of hers. I'm reading this way too sort of nice for this person. She was very gracious in listening to me. I like that hairpin you have, I told her. It's very bold. Oh, this? It's rather ugly, wouldn't you say? She said with a delightful laugh. But I promised my first love that I'd hold on to it. Then Ryu came back in the room, and we talked about our days at the Magungwa University. He wanted to know what things were like nowadays, and I was pretty happy to oblige with stories from my undergraduate studies. At the end of the evening, he said he'd save discussing business for next time, and that he wanted to hear more about stories about his old professors. I'm not stupid to think that he's interested in any legitimate friendship, but if this is what my council vote is worth, man, I'll take it. They really do not do things by half measures. With regards, Counselor Tay. That was interesting. Here we have Without Him by Hyo Seo Young, which is the... Okay, so this was the crazy lady. Okay. Yesterday, I lost my husband. Her husband was a professor, yes. Right, he was the... Oh, right, now I remember. Today, I have to deal with the aftermath. I'm writing this as a way of resting in lieu of sleeping. I don't have time for that luxury. There's a few leads we're going on, or following on, but they don't seem promising. In the morning after I discovered he was gone, I had no choice but to contact his parents to let them know. His father was understanding and sympathetic. His mother didn't say a word, as per usual. I promised them I would get to the bottom of it, and got back to work. But mere hours later, Counselor Mute and I were interrupted by his uncle, the former Counselor of Engineering, bursting into my office. Okay, think it got well. Okay. How could you let this happen? He demanded, immediately starting a confrontation. What's your tone? Mute snapped before I could. Excuse me? I asked. What happened that he just disappeared? He said audaciously. I knew letting him marry someone like you was a mistake. What did you do to scare him off? Scare him off? I stammered, taken aback by the insanity of his question. I said, watch your tone, young man, Mute snapped at my elderly uncle-in-law. I lost my husband. Don't you dare come in here and give me that, I told him. Well, you better be dedicating all your resources to finding him, he said to me. At that point, I absolutely lost it at the combination of audacity and stupidity. Find him? Find him? I shouted, standing up. Do you think he just up and wandered off? Do you think he's just hiding somewhere on another deck? Take a walk off into space? This is a spaceship. It is a 100-deck sealed environment. I know exactly where every single living man, woman, and child on the ship is at this very exact moment. Aren't you supposed to be an engineer? Don't you know how biometric scanners work? There are cameras on every single corridor of the ship, and I have security clearance to do everything short of watching you slip in the shower. Maybe a half-senile washed-up failure of a former counselor could lose the person they married, but I'm the chief security officer. I had to take a breath at that point. Then, I wiped the tears from my eyes, slammed my hand against my desk, and continued. If someone is missing, that means they're dead. The man I love and vowed to protect with my life has been killed. Almost certainly deliberately, I said. There was a silence. And you have the nerve to walk into my office and give me this shit while I'm mourning a far, far better man than you ever were. It took him aback, but didn't make me feel better. Even after thinking about it now, it makes me equal parts angry and sad. After a long pause, he finally found something just as inappropriate to say as before. Then maybe you should have protected him. Mr. Kim, Mute snapped. You are completely out of line. You too, he said. Do you really think anyone would try to hurt him for any reason other than get to his oh-so-important wife? You made him a target that you couldn't even protect him. Get out of my office, I told him with as much venom as I could muster. Oh, that's a good line. You might as well have killed him yourself. He never meant that much to you anyway. Was it worth it? He asked. That was the point where I snapped. I called out to the security officer stationed at the door. "Give me your sidearm and wait outside," I told him. He did, bowed, and left the office looking alarmed. "Get out of my office now!" I shouted, pointing the gun at him. "What are you?" he stammered in shock before I cut him off. "Get out of here now, or I swear I will strike you down where you stand!" I screamed at him, tearfully. "Now!" "Crazy woman," he said, stumbling out, quickly disappearing. Then the officer reappeared, with a maid beside him. "Ma'am, she's a message from the chief counselor." I didn't say anything. She said, looking at the gun with concern. "Chief Counselor Ryu wants to express his sincerest condolences to the widow of Get the fuck out!" I screamed at her too. She ran away in alarm, and the security officer shrunk away. The door closed after them. I threw the gun angrily in response, and then I slumped down into my chair, exhausted. I sighed and turned to my superior. A moment of silence passed. "I think I would have done it," I said, more thinking out loud than anything. "You wouldn't have actually let me shoot him, right?" She smiled at me. "Please, Seo Young. I shut down every weapon in the office the moment he walked in," she said, giving me a sympathetic look. That's creepy that she can do that. I couldn't help but laugh. "Thanks. That would have been pretty bad, wouldn't it?" I took my handkerchief and wiped more tears from my eyes without thinking. A blackened smear followed it. "Oh no, don't lie to me. How bad is my makeup right now?" She said. "Well, it's kind of like, I guess, let me put it this way. Have you ever seen a plasma relay explode?" "Oh hell," I said, sinking further into my chair. "I'm not taking this well. Wow, I am really not taking this well. Well, you know, every single couple I've known, I've watched one of them lose the person who was most important to them in the end," she said. "Oh wow, he's not the most important," I admitted quietly. "Oh," she responded, after a moment seemingly getting what I meant. She didn't acknowledge it. Past adding, "Okay. You know what sort of relationship we had. We have had, I suppose. We never wanted to be singularly devoted to each other, but regardless, still, he was my husband," I said, my eyes watering a little, hoping I wasn't sounding terrible. "I love him, admire him, respect him. We were even talking about having another child together." "I gotcha," she said. From now in particular, a cigarette appeared in my hand, and she gracefully lit it in one gesture. "Really, what I was trying to say was, there's no such thing as taking it well." "Since when do you lie to comfort people?" I asked her. "Man, I'm not lying. It's the honest truth," she said. "You're mute, though. You're perfect. You wouldn't fall apart like this," I said. "Oh, yeah, right, Miss Hyo. I've loved more people than you've ever known in your entire life," she told me. "Like when I lost my first love. He was my programmer on Earth, a ridiculous otaku, a sweetheart, and a smoker. He's the one who got me into this habit," she said, waving her cigarette. "It took me 100 years to get over him. I mourned him for longer than he was ever alive, okay? You know how I did it? I had to delete my memories of our happiest moments together, so I'd stop dwelling on them." Yeah, that is tragic, holy man. "I lose everyone, Seo Young, okay? I've loved so many people, and in the end, all of them turned to ash," she said sadly, tapping on the end of her cigarette, causing little gray flecks to flutter downwards, then disappear. "What I'm saying is, no, I didn't take it well either, okay? I just stopped letting myself fall in love is all." "How sad," I said, trailing off. "Don't pity me. My point is, not being able to deal with it is normal." "I suppose. Thanks," I said. "So, what about at home?" she asked. "It's been difficult. The maids are all absolutely inconsolable." That's a big word. "They're honestly taking it worse than I am. I mean, they loved him," I said reluctantly. "In more than one sense." Oh my. Don't go there. There are a bunch of heartbroken young women. Oh no, that was me. Okay. And I feel bad for them, especially Miss Lim. Who is Miss Lim? Oh, she's rather cute. Please don't be a guy this time. Although, I do wish they'd tone it down a little. So he heard them crying about him and came to me asking where her daddy was. Oh geez, what a bunch of stupid girls. You'd think they'd be more careful around your daughter, she said harshly. What did you tell her? Oh, she's so cute. This is the first time we've read Click it. Yeah, okay. Interesting. I sighed. The truth. Ooh. I told her that her father had been killed. That Mommy was very upset. It's fine for her to be too. And I was gonna find out who did that and punish them. I mean, what else could I possibly say to her? I don't know. Should I have lied to her? Geez, no. Kids are smart. I mean, your maids are a bunch of idiots, but still, she's a smart kid. She'd know something was up, she said. It's just... There's a whole house full of people close to him that's crying over him. His own family that hates me, and my siblings that are probably too scared to go near me right now. But I'm sure they're upset too, and it's... Oh, I don't even know, I said, starting to lose control of my emotions again. It's just so much. I wish. It's okay. You want him back. I get it. That's normal, she told me. I don't want him back. That's stupid. He's dead. Nothing's gonna change that, I said, trembling. I want to find out whoever did this, and I want to fucking kill them. You really think that will make you feel better? She asked patronizingly. No, of course not. But it's what he deserves. She gave me a long look, then flicked away her cigarette far off screen. Okay, Lieutenant. Good enough for me. But please, I want you to go home, wash up your face, try to get a couple hours of rest, she said, adding, before I had a chance to argue, that's an order. I want my best officer to be up to speed and not trembling in her chair. Got it? Yeah, got it, I said softly. I couldn't argue. I really was trembling in my chair. Then, after that, I want you to get back here and get to work on finding out what barbaric idiot decided to commit the treason of declaring war on my family. I want them found. I want them caught. And I want them and every single thing they stand for destroyed. I want them hurt so badly for generations to come, people wince in fear at the thought of hurting anyone under my protection, she said, clenching her wrinkled fist tightly. Does that mean your approval, Miss Hio? I was moved to tears. I had to wipe my eyes again, and took a deep breath. Yes, ma'am, I said, trembling, still trembling, but intensely grateful. Okay, good. Now go get some rest, she ordered. You're dismissed. So here I am, getting the closest thing to rest that I can. And now, it's time to get to work. Thank you guys for watching, and next time we will continue reading more logs from Hate Plus. See you next time. Ciao.